Yeah, so again, I don't claim to be the best representative for everyone in my generation, but I think that for me, as someone who really values the opportunity to connect with other humans and find new ways to deepen those connections in the context of community, there are some obvious challenges to creating a long-term commitment to something like that. Part of it being, being in the position I am in my life right now, I don't have a lot of my own resources, and I also have a lot of my own personal aspirations that, are kind of carrying me forward. And so I can't necessarily get that latter part met by staying put for a long period of time in a place, regardless of how great the place is. And I think that's very evident of my choices right now, despite having lived at Lama Foundation for the past year and really deeply loved and appreciated that experience. I am leaving.
Would you be willing to enumerate what these needs are that even Lama does not meet for you?
Sure. Yeah, so I guess, speaking on a more practical level, which I was just alluding to, which is just the fact that being at Lama, I've pretty much existed in financial stasis. So, I have been fully committed to being in this place in a good way, which has been wonderful, and it's excluded the opportunities for me to have my own career path or even hold some sort of job in order to develop myself financially, get more security. And also, being so remote, which I think is also perhaps a theme, there's this ideal, which I even perhaps resonate with, of having a lot of your own space. And a lot of these communities have 10, 20, 200, 400, 1,000 acres of space, which often means they're somewhat removed from the rest of the world.
Right.
And so, and I think Sean Paul and Syed during the fishbowl activity spoke really well to kind of this internal dissonance I have about wanting to, there's this huge call of my generation to somehow go out and save the world, save the planet from humans because we've messed it up.
Right.
And I feel like I'm not doing justice to that calling by staying so long, so far removed from where the action is happening. And while I think it's a beautiful ideal to live out for some period of time of just kind of creating your own world where you get to implement your own ideals because you're not, the world's not constricting you as much. I also don't want to exist in that remote place for that long. And so, I really resonated with what Todd spoke about, rather than necessarily exclusively offering some sort of long-term residency option for young people, to instead frame it as a campus, frame it as a learning opportunity where older people with more wisdom and more skills can teach the young people, which is what I'm really seeking right now. I've been conditioned growing up in many of the ways others have that has not empowered me to create this new world that I'm supposed to create. And so I've spent most of my 20s just seeking opportunities to learn the skills and kind of collect ideas about what the new ways I can imagine, new paradigm shifts I can implement into my life to be a better steward of the planet. And I can't do that all in one place.
Jordan, you gave the caveat at the beginning that you're not speaking for all young people.
Yeah.
For as best you could, a generalized summary, the people your age range, etc.,
Sure.
would this, what you just said for you, would that be true for them? Is there something else that should be added?
Yeah, it's a good question. Again, it's hard for me to guess. I would say that a lot of young people would probably resonate, certainly in my circles, with the ideas that I've spoke.
Okay.
I would say, another overwhelming challenge to this generation is just finding ways to exercise the passions and the skills that we have that actually meets our basic needs, but also feeds our spirit. I've met so many young people. I think it's a very common narrative today for young people to have, for instance, gone to college and bit the bullets, invested tens of thousands of dollars in student loans, maybe over 100,000, and now they've graduated. They're not doing a damn thing with their degree. And what are the reasons for that? And can these communities offer solutions for young people to actually use the skills that they're impassioned with in a more like sane way, because what the world is offered is just insane.
Right.
And so we're not engaging that, and instead just trying to like exist in other ways. And I resonate with that too. I have the same story from college. And so can communities find ways for young people to actually exercise these skills and these their knowledge in a way that resonates with their value system?
Gotcha. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.